Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sharifah Nur Ain. I will explain the relationship between Islamic finance principle and sustainability, where both frameworks are built on similar ethical and socio-economic foundation. Islamic finance is not only a financial system but also a value-based system that emphasizes justice, transparency, and responsibility in all economic activities. At the same time, sustainability focuses on achieving long-term balance between economic growth, environmental protection, and social well-being. When we compare both systems, we can see that they share several common objectives, which include: firstly, Islamic finance promotes ethical and fair financial practices, particularly through the prohibition of riba or interest. This ensures that wealth is generated through real economic activities rather than exploitative practices. This aligns with sustainability, which also emphasizes fairness and reducing economic inequality. Secondly, the principle of risk sharing in Islamic finance encourages a more equitable distribution of wealth between investors and entrepreneurs. This creates a fairer financial system because no single party bears all the burden. As a result, it helps reduce inequality and support inclusive economic growth, which aligns with the social dimension of sustainability. And thirdly, Islamic finance requires asset-backed transaction, meaning every financial activity must be linked to real asset or productive economic activities. For example, financing can be used to support businesses, infrastructure projects, or property purchases. This promotes real economic growth and discourages excessive speculation, making the financial system more sustainable and beneficial to society. In addition, Islamic finance strictly prohibits ghara and maisi, which refer to excessive uncertainty and gambling-like activities. This promotes transparency, stability, and responsible investment behavior. These elements are also important in sustainability, especially in governance, where accountability and transparency are key principles. Most importantly, the concept of Maqasid Ash-Shariah plays a central role in linking Islamic finance with sustainability. Maqasid Ash-Shariah focuses on protecting human welfare, including religion, life, intellect, language, and wealth. This concept strongly overlaps with sustainability goals, particularly the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which aims to improve human well-being, reduce poverty, and ensure environmental protection. Therefore, Islamic finance principle can be seen as a moral and ethical foundation that supports sustainability objective. This alignment provides a strong conceptual basis for the development of ESG/Sri Sukuk and Green Sukuk, where financial activities are not only Sharia compliant but also environmentally and socially responsible.
So, moving to the next part, which is I will explain the difference between the conventional bond and sukuk. First, in terms of nature of instrument, conventional bond are debt-based instrument, meaning the investor lend the money to the issuer. In contrast, sukuk represent ownership or beneficial interest in underlying asset or real economic project. For the second one is the return to investors. Bonds provide fixed or floating interest payment, which is known as riba. However, sukuk generates profit or rental income derived from the performance of the underlying assets. And the third one is the Sharia compliance, which is the conventional bond are not required to follow Islamic principle, while sukuk must comply with Sharia principles, including the prohibition of riba and gharar. Fourth is in the term of approval and structure, bonds are approved only by financial authorities, whereas sukuk requires approval from both Sharia scholars and financial regulators. For the next one is the risk and ownership. Bondholders only have a claim on the issuer, meaning they don't own any asset. In contrast, sukuk holders have ownership interest and share in risk and returns. And for the last one is the underlying assets, which is conventional bond doesn't require asset backing, while sukuk must be backed by the real tangible asset or genuine economic activities. So, for the conclusion, sukuk is different from conventional bond because it is asset-based, risk-sharing and Sharia compliant, making it more aligned with Islamic finance principles.
Next, I will explain the key characteristic of ESG or Sri Sukuk. Firstly, compliance with Sharia is principle. ESG or Sri Sukuk must follow Islamic finance principles, which means they prohibit riba or interest, gharar or excessive uncertainty, and maisir or gambling. This ensures that the investment remains ethical and Sharia compliant. Second, ethical and responsible investment focus. The funds raised through ESG or Sri Sukuk that can only be used for projects that create positive environmental or social impacts. Examples include renewable energy projects, healthcare facilities, educational institutions, and affordable housing. Third, transparency and accountability. Issuers are required to disclose how the funds will be used and provide regular updates on the progress of the project. This allows investors to monitor whether the funds are being utilized according to the intended objectives. Fourth, measurable sustainability outcomes. ESG or Sri Sukuk projects must deliver measurable environmental or social benefits. For example, a project may reduce carbon emission, improve access to education, or enhance healthcare services for communities. And finally, alignment with ESG and SDG objectives. ESG or Sri Sukuk supports environmental, social, and government principles and contributes to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, promoting a long-term sustainable development. In summary, ESG or Sri Sukuk combines Sharia compliance with sustainability objectives, making it an investment instrument that delivers both financial returns and positive impacts on society and the environment.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Muhammad Wafiq Wajidi and my part is about the importance of Maqasid Al-Sharia in sustainable Islamic finance. Maqasid Al-Sharia refers to the objective of Islamic law that aim to protect public interest, promote welfare and improve the quality of life. It serves as an important foundation for ESG/SRI Sukuk and Green Sukuk. First, Maqasid Al-Sharia promotes social welfare and economic justice. Islamic finance support projects such as healthcare, education and community development which help improve the well-being of society and create a fairer economic system. Second, it supports environmental sustainability. ESG/SRI Sukuk and Green Sukuk are used to finance environmentally friendly projects such as renewable energy, green buildings and sustainable transportation. This project help reduce environmental damage and support long-term sustainability. Third, Maqasid Al-Sharia encourage ethical and responsible investment. Islamic finance prohibits riba, gharar, and ethical activity while promoting fairness, transparency, and accountability in financial transactions. Fourth, it aligns with the global sustainability goals by balancing economic growth, social development, and environmental protection. This ensures that financial activities create a long-term benefit for both present and future generations. Finally, Maqasid Al-Sharia strengthens Sharia compliance by ensuring that the financial activities remain consistent with Islamic principles while contributing to sustainable development. As a result, investors can have a greater confidence that their investments are both Sharia compliant and socially responsible. In conclusion, Maqasid Al-Sharia plays a crucial role in a sustainable Islamic finance because it promotes social welfare, environmental responsibility, ethical investment, and long-term economic sustainability. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, I will be presenting on examples of sectors or projects that has been financed by Sukuk. The first project is related to Green Buildings project, which involving Merdeka 118 Tower. PNB Merdeka Ventures Sdn Bhd issued unrated Sukuk under Sharia principles to pursue Sukuk program up to RM2 billion for the use of development of this project. These funds represent as the largest corporate and real estate sustainability Sukuk in Asia, as well as the largest AAA-rated corporate Sukuk in Malaysia. The Sukuk program is a part of funding diversification and long-term capital investment strategy to optimize funding structure and cost for the overall of Merdeka 118 project. In addition, for renewable energy project, TNB Kuala Muda Solar Farm were financed by Sukuk. TNB Renewable Sdn Bhd via Kuala Muda Solar Sdn Bhd has issued RM1.05 billion Sukuk through Asian Green Sustainable and Responsible Investment (SRI) Sukuk Wakalah to finance a solar photovoltaic project in Kedah. This raise will be utilized for Sharia purpose and used to part finance project costs, and also will be allocated for pre-funding the finance service reserve account, equal to the next 6 months finance service due under Sukuk program. Last example would be healthcare and education, which involving Khazanah Nasional Berhad. Khazanah Nasional Berhad has collaborated with Securities Commission Malaysia and has successfully priced Malaysia's first Sukuk of RM100 million, which marked as an important step in application of digital technologies to support future development of Malaysia's domestic capital market. It reflects role by taking practical steps towards exploring how digital technology can improve how we issue and manage capital market instruments. That's the end of our group presentation regarding Sukuk and Green Sukuk development. Thank you for Madam's attention and listening.